All right, here we go, bro.
And the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most Basketball is special. The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience of a team sport that exists. And because of the different styles that basketball allows for, players develop their own distinct identities and signature styles through their creativity, flair, and athleticism. And although no player succeeds alone, the scoring volume and two-way nature of the sport give individual stars a nearly unprecedented amount of control over the flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to the legends of the past in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport: who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the question is redundant. They believe in only one right answer: their answer. Others might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives. But I believe that there's much more nuance to the question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective thing though. I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can do is make the argument. So today, I'll be making the case for Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player of all time.
Now, guys, anyone in the comments, any of you guys in the chat, who's sitting here saying that I'm just, oh my God, this dude is just riding LeBron. I'm watching this video where Michael Jordan is going to be praised for 25 minutes straight, okay? I'm not scared of this shit. I understand that Jordan is one of the best players ever, bro. He's minimum top 3, bro. Minimum. And everyone's list. So, I understand the greatness of Jordan. So, I'm not sitting here scared. The people who are scared are the dudes who hate LeBron because they don't want to see the making the case LeBron video. They don't want to see that, bro. They don't even want to listen to it. They're like, no, you're wrong. I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to listen to this, bro. All right? Even though I have my own opinion, I'm still going to listen to it. So all I'm saying is open mind. Let's go.
Well, what can I say? What on earth can I say about Michael Jordan's case as the greatest basketball player to ever live that hasn't been said before? What do you think I'm going to talk about that didn't get covered in the 10-hour documentary that premiered at a time when there was no other sports content? There's no forgotten game that I can tell you about that shows just how good Jordan was. We've all seen those games. Every possible angle of the Michael Jordan case has been dissected inside and out. There are no original takes when it comes to the subject. Michael Jordan is a ubiquitous figure in large part because he was and is a brand. And what do American advertisers love more than a good brand? The good people at McDonald's, Nike, Gatorade, and the NBA itself succeeded in making sure that damn near everyone in the world knew that Michael Jordan played in the NBA and that he was a winner. I mean, honestly, when you see the number 23 anywhere, don't you immediately think of...
we think of LeBron. Maybe older time people think of Jordan, maybe. But like, I think like newer generation, yeah, they don't just think of Jordan, bro. Like, of course, dude, of course, like, this is what I don't understand, bro. Why does everybody in here act like they watch Jordan? Los, you're a fucking idiot. Just stop. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean, bro? What I just said, I don't even believe. Okay? I just said something to see the reaction in the chat. Why is that your reaction, bro? Why can someone not have a different opinion, dude? Listen, all I'm going to do during this is expose, dude. That's it. Obviously, 23, it's Jordan. That's what it is. Right? That's what it is. But if someone was like, dude, I think of LeBron. Oh, dude, you're a fucking idiot, dude. You're a dick rider. Damn, all right, bro. Shit. It's literally fucked up, man. See what I mean, though? You see what I mean?
Michael Jordan? I mean, even if you're a LeBron fan, you have to admit that that is Michael Jordan's number. And the craziest part about the Jordan experience is that as he became a global icon, he did nothing but continue to deliver the goods. What iconic moment can I show you that you haven't already seen 100 times? His cradle dunk in college, the game winner in the '82 NCAA championship, the free throw line dunk, pouring in a record 63 points against the '86 Celtics, the shot, his spectacular move, the shrug, the double nick.
Dude, the shrug's not even a move! The shrug isn't even a made shot! Dude, you went to a sucking someone, bro. They're doing like this, and that's part of his highlights? Fuck, man.
Nickel against the Knicks. The flu game. Passing to Steve Kerr for championship number 5. These are sequences and moments burned.
Oh, dude, did Kerr save Jordan's career? Did he save it, bro?
Burned into every basketball fan's consciousness. Every one of those moments served to propel Jordan higher and higher in the cultural zeitgeist until he was one of, maybe, the 5 most famous human beings on the planet. And yet, the inevitable pass.
Someone said, no, that was game 6. Oh, really? Guess what? Ray Allen's shot was game 6. You dumbass!
Passage of time has eroded the consensus around Jordan's GOAT status, especially with younger people who might not have been alive to see him play. That's not to say that there aren't young people who don't see him as the GOAT, but it's not as airtight as it once was. Now, I'd hate to speculate on behalf of an entire generation of basketball fans, but here I go anyway. I was 516 days old when Michael Jordan won his last championship. I can't remember much about it. And I think that people who didn't live through Jordan's prime are a little tired of hearing how great he was. Of course, people want to be alive to see greatness. They want to be able to say,
wait, you linked the what? What the fuck did I link? Oh shit. Whatever, I deleted it.
I saw the best ever. Now, I don't think that makes it right, but it's part of the explanation. The other part is that Jordan's celebrity seems to cloud everything he did. At times, it feels almost like propaganda.
Listen, I refuse to have somebody in this chat named Dave tell me to be quiet and watch greatness. I will be fucking damned. Your name is Dave? That's your level of creativity. You couldn't even think of anything. Just, you took your name and typed it twice? Dude, honestly, bro, I mean this in, like, the nicest way. Dude, deactivate your account, bro. Just make a new one, or, like, I think you can change your name every 90 days or something, dude. Change that shit, bro. That's literally embarrassing. Oh, here's the chat. You want to talk about sucking, bro. You want to talk about sucking and fucking. You want to talk about that. There's no way you think saying Dave is cool. Now this is cool. Now this is an alpha move. Dude, you guys are ridiculous. No, you guys are ridiculous, bro. You guys are, no, seriously, bro. This is ridiculous, dude. How do you somehow try to make everything that... I can't win. I can't win. I was so dude, I was so happy with life. I was so happy to be alive about 20 minutes ago. Now, this is fucked up, bro. All right, let's go.
How many times have you seen this? Some basketball account on Twitter or somewhere on the internet celebrates the anniversary of something that, say, Wilt Chamberlain did. And in the comments, somebody says something like, Wilt Chamberlain, the most dominant player I ever saw. And then someone comes back unfailingly and says, in all caps, did you never see Michael Jordan play?
Yeah.
It's not just that you have to acknowledge Jordan as the GOAT. It's that you cannot talk about the merits of anyone else's case. The internet would have you believe that Michael Jordan won every game he played and made every shot he took. And that kind of talk breeds resentment from people who want to appreciate other players' accomplishments. Because he wasn't perfect. He didn't win every game. He didn't make every shot. And you can have a debate about who the greatest of all time is. Clayton, what the heck, dude? I thought this was supposed to be a video about why he is the GOAT. It is. All of that is just to say that that's how this is gonna go. I'm not going to try to convince you that he was perfect. Because if you can separate the legend and the basketball player, it's more than enough.
Chat. It's so, like, either you guys are, like, literally mental, like, crazy hypocrites, right? Or, like, you're, like, the greatest troll ever, which I think it's somewhere in between. I don't think you're, like, an amazing troll or, like a psychopath. But you're somewhere in between, bro. Like, you're a little trolly, but you're also a little crazy, dude. You're a little crazy, the fact that you can sit here and type "he did" when the guy's saying he didn't make every shot, he didn't win every game, and you're typing "he did." That's not trolling, bro. There's something wrong with you at that point, bro. I want you to know that. I think something's wrong with some of you, seriously.
Oh, and by the way, we're going to ignore his Wizards career as much as we can. It's just the right thing to do.
Oh, it's just the right thing to do, right? Right? Okay. But we're not going to ignore LeBron and the Lakers, though, when he wins a ring, though. We're not going to ignore that. That's fine, dude. That's fine.
So, Michael Jordan, the basketball player. What do we have? In 13 seasons with the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan was a 6-time champion.
13 seasons, and he only won 6 times, dude? That means that Jordan is 6-7, bro, on the Bulls. We're not including the Wizards, where he'd be probably 6-10, okay? So, here's my thing, dude. Why does LeBron get shit on for 4 and 6? Why does he get shit on? I'm confused, bro. And low-key, the years that he gave up and left the league, you should count those 2 years as losses also. So.
6-time Finals MVP, 5-time regular season MVP, a 12-time All-Star, was selected to 10 first-team All-NBAs, made second-team All-NBA in his rookie season, was the Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, had 9 all-defensive first-team selections, was a 10-time scoring leader, and in college won the 1982 NCAA championship and was named the 1984 NCAA Player of the Year. Without a word of analysis or commentary, that resume is screaming about one of the most decorated and successful basketball players in history. Jordan's case is related to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's in that you can pick from just about any criteria you want to, and you'll find enough evidence to support his reputation. First and foremost, Jordan might well be the greatest scorer in basketball history. Ignoring his 2 years with the Wizards, Jordan's scoring average was 31.5 points per game. Michael Jordan in a Bulls jersey scored more points on an average night than any other player ever. Including his Wizards tenure, he averaged 30.12 points per game, still the highest of any player ever, beating out Wilt Chamberlain by a few decimal places. The style of Jordan's play was only matched by the substance of his game. Every ounce of athleticism that brought comparisons to Dr. J was matched by footwork that could only be seen in players like 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹. His acrobatic layups are underscored by his unerring technique and diligence that make him a case study in fundamentals. At his peak, he tortured guards in the post, eluded big men with his electric first step, developed into the best mid-range scorer of all time, and ran Phil Jackson's triangle for all it was worth.
I'm gonna be honest, I just sat here for a couple minutes in silence, just honestly getting mesmerized by the greatness, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I just was like, I was in awe for a little bit. I was. There's no joke here. I'm being serious. I'm being honest.
He had nearly every offensive facet of the game in his toolbox, and he pulled out that toolbox every night. He has the highest usage rate of all time, scoring in volume on a nightly basis. But he also pushes advanced metrics and efficiency stats to their breaking points. He has the highest player efficiency ranking ever, the highest offensive box plus minus ever, the 5th most win shares, the most win shares per 48 minutes, an outstanding true shooting percentage, and so on. It is unfathomable to me that Jordan combined such unprecedented volume with such pristine efficiency.
What's really getting me is all these fakes and the one-handed shit, bro. I would love to have watched this. Dude, the one hand, like... Bro, that's so hard to do, number one. Number two... to actually trick people with it. Like, dude, nobody does that in the NBA today. The only person who really does that, like, in any kind of way, really, is maybe Kawhi. Like Kawhi will sometimes have the ball in one hand. But Kawhi's not, like, Kawhi does not have the finesse like this. Like, where he's, like, faking everyone out, like, fucking go, like, doing, like, fake. He's not doing, like, I don't know anyone who does this, bro. I don't know any player that does this, like, consistently. Because I've seen, like, we've seen, like, flash, like, LeBron's done some things like that. You know that, like, the one where he, like, puts the ball like that and then goes like that, and he was, like, playing against the Lakers, and he's, like, a wide open. We've seen this shit from other people, but I'm saying, like, consistently, like, this looks crazy, bro. Yeah, this is wild, bro.
His opponents were allowed little reprieve on the other end of the floor, as Jordan quickly developed into one of the league's premier defenders. In 1988, Jordan led the league in scoring with 35 points a game, won the MVP, and was named Defensive Player of the Year after leading the league in steals. Jordan defended opponents like a shark smelling blood. He forced bad passes, contested shots, leapt passing lanes, all while talking enough trash to sell a pay-per-view fight. There might not have ever been a more nightmarish matchup on both ends of the floor. He could go into games, tell his own team to stay out of the way, dunk on his defender, and then put that guy in a straitjacket the second he crossed half court. And yet, despite the ungodly amount of energy that he must have expended every night, Jordan was one of the most durable and consistent players of his generation. Aside from his injury-shortened '86 season and his mid-season comeback in '95, Jordan never missed more than 4 games in a single season. In 8 of his Chicago seasons, he played all 82 games. The objective of a basketball game is to score more points than your opponent, right? So you'd love a player who can score a buttload of points. You'd also love a player who keeps the other team from scoring points. When you put those two things together, the best scorer ever and one of the most tenacious defenders in history, you get Michael Jordan, whose peak reaches into uncharted airspace. Michael Jordan, at his best, was better than everyone. Plain and simple. He would score, defend, and play in such a way that made winning second nature. No one else has ever tasted the air at the top of peak Jordan. Once he got to the top of that mountain, he was looking down at everyone else. But what about before then, I hear the skeptics among you ask. And that's a fair point. He wasn't always that guy. Before the Bulls broke through in '91, Jordan suffered defeat in the playoffs to the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, and most memorably, the Detroit Pistons. And I've seen this misconception that those losses all took place while Jordan was still basically on his own without Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen. And that's obviously not correct. All 4 of the Piston losses took place while Scottie was on the team. And in 1990, Phil Jackson was the coach, and the Bulls won 55 games, just 4 fewer than the Pistons. You can blame it on whatever. Injuries, the Pistons' patented Jordan rules, and even Jordan himself. It's a fair point of criticism to point out that Michael Jordan's Bulls lost in the playoffs early in his career. However, you can't stop the conversation there. Yeah, the Bulls got swept by the '86 Celtics, but come on. That team is pretty universally regarded as Bird's best team, and one of the best teams of all time after they went on to win the title. The fact that Jordan hung 63 on them, a record that still stands, is outstanding. The '87 Celtics also made the finals. So did the '88 Pistons, and the '89 Pistons. and the 1990 Pistons. Of Jordan's 6 pre-title playoff losses, 5 of them made the NBA Finals, and 3 of them ended up winning the whole thing. They're losses nonetheless. But it wasn't like he was being beat by the Washington Generals. He was losing and sharpening his teeth against the best.
Bro, you can say this exact same thing about LeBron, too. You can say the exact same thing. He only lost against people that were going to the finals or in the finals. So, I'm putting that out there. I'm putting that out there right now. Even the fucking first round loss on the Lakers when AD was fucking playing GTA and shit. They lost to who? The Suns? Where'd the Suns go? The finals, bro. So anyone sitting here, there's people typing cap. What are you what I just said is true, bro. What I just said is true. And I love these people who talk about the Mavs and just say 𝗟𝗂𝗄𝗏 beat LeBron. That is the worst. I'm not kidding. That's the stupidest thing you could ever say. That is the dumbest thing you could say out loud. That 𝗟𝗂𝗄𝗏 beat LeBron, bro. How fucking... No, dude. How dumb are you, bro? For real. How fucking stupid are you, bro? Dirk is one of the best power forwards to ever play. I think he's top 3 all time. Jason Kidd, Hall of Fame point guard. One of the best point guards ever. Was he past his prime? Yeah, but he's still Jason Kidd. Your IQ doesn't go away when you become less athletic. Okay? And he was also a great defender. Shawn Marion, solid role player. Always was. Who else was on that team? Tyson Chandler, defensive player of the year, center. I mean, who else, dude? Jason Terry, great role player, three-point shooter. Who else was on that fucking team, bro? I mean, we're acting like this team was so shit, bro. Peja Stojakovic, that motherfucker, one of the best three-point shooters ever. This team beat the defending champion Lakers, your boy Kobe, from 2010. Then when they won the finals, they were in the playoffs the next season, 2011, and they lost to the Mavs. Okay? They lost to them. They also beat the Trailblazers that had Brandon Roy, who was, at the time, one of the best players in the NBA. And then they also beat OKC, which is your boy KD, Harden, Westbrook, the whole shit. Okay? So, you guys, you love to talk about all these dudes. That Mavs team, that was crazy, bro. That Mavs team, it was their run was crazy as fuck. Sometimes that happens. Why are there people getting offended that I said your boy Kobe? There's people typing, dude, what do you mean our boy? What? What? I'm saying your boy, like, you guys love Kobe. You defend Kobe. He got swept by this Mavs team that you're shitting on LeBron about. So, are you going to shit on Kobe? No, you're not going to shit on Kobe because you just want to shit on LeBron, bro. Anyway, let's go.
For whatever it's worth.
Sounded disrespectful, not going to lie. Yeah, you can suck my dick, dude. Sounded disrespectful, like I'm going to disrespect Kobe. You can go fuck yourself, bro. You can actually go fuck yourself, bro. Nah, that's weird as fuck, dude. Trying to act like I said like I'm dissing Kobe. You're weird as fuck for that, bro. Nah, you're weird for that, bro. What is this guy? What? This guy's name is Los Polos boyfriend. He goes, I'm 13, bro. It's not that deep? No, it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep. All I was saying was that you guys... Doesn't matter.
And it's worth something. Speaking of Phil and Scotty, another point of contention with Jordan's claim to the throne is the fact that he played for the most decorated coach in basketball and with the best sidekick in sports, along with a team that did their jobs to a T and bought into the team. As for Scotty, there are some people out there who would have you believe that Scottie Pippen was nothing more than a glorified role player. They'll say he didn't have the the game that Scottie Pippen was team. As for Scottie, there are some people out there.
Oh man, yeah, no, dude, of course this is one of them, because his narrative is that Jordan's the GOAT and LeBron's not, so that has to be his narrative.
Who would have you believe that Scottie Pippen was nothing more than a glorified role player. They'll say he didn't have the game to carry a team to a title, and he didn't have the aptitude to spend too much time in the spotlight. They'd have you believe that Scottie Pippen was nothing without Michael Jordan. And that's ridiculous. You can disagree with me, but for my money, Scottie Pippen is the best perimeter defender imaginable. He combined size with uncanny court vision a la Bird and LeBron, knew exactly when to pick his spots and when to defer, and brought a component of selflessness and fraternity to the Bulls.
Dude, do you understand that that is a skill? What he just said? Knowing when to go for it and when to defer? That's a skill. That is like a main reason why a lot of teams don't work, is people not knowing. This is a huge thing with Westbrook, I think, in my opinion. Him not having the IQ of knowing when to like back off or when to take over. It happens with a lot of people that they try to, you think on paper the team looks good. So what I'm saying is that right there is a skill. That is a skill. You know who had that skill? Who developed it was D Wade with LeBron. He developed that shit. What's another duo that? I think that I'll give Curry some props. I think that Curry developed that with KD a little bit. What other two great players? I don't know. Kobe and Shaq. I mean, I didn't watch Kobe and Shaq like, you know, that was, dude. When Kobe and Shaq were winning, bro, I was a little ass kid. But yeah, you get my point.
That might not have existed otherwise. He was approachable and likable, the counterbalance to Jordan's unyielding intensity. Most importantly, Scottie accepted and flourished in his role. The amount of credit that he deserves and does not get is unfortunate. Same with other players like Horace Grant and Tony Kukoc. Michael Jordan didn't win those championships alone, and those guys all deserve more recognition. When it comes to Phil Jackson, it's been fascinating to revisit Jordan's approach to the game and see how it changed under Jackson. Guys like Mike, Kobe, and Wilt all approached basketball in a similar way, in that they felt that the best chance their team had to win was for them to have the ball in their hands as much as possible. These days, we'd call what they did iso ball or hero ball. Isolate against the defender, tell everyone to get out of the way, and beat your man one-on-one. Watching Mike's early years, it sticks out, painfully at times. Shooting over triple teams, refusing to give the ball up, even if a teammate had an open look. Kobe patterned his game after Jordan, and you can see the same tendencies. Wilt was, of course, a prolific scorer and record setter in his own right, and did so in a manner that gained him the reputation of being selfish. But
was anyone near Wilt Chamberlain's height when he played? I need an answer to this. And is there a way to look this up? Because what was Wilt? Like 7 foot? Yeah, let's get some numbers on that.
But with Jackson's philosophical influences, the triangle offense, and a stellar supporting cast, Jordan learned to dial those tendencies back and perfect his game, resulting in one of the most dominant stretches any athlete has ever had in their sport. Of course, he still had the stuff to go and win his one-on-one battles, but he walked the line as well as anyone ever has. Kobe did the same thing. He won 3 championships with Shaq at the beginning of the decade of the aughts and finished the decade with back-to-back championships. Now, who was Kobe's coach during those championship years? Who was it that helped him tailor his game to a more team-friendly approach so as to unlock the group's championship potential? Oh yeah, it was Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson should, and does, get praise for managing some of the most eclectic locker rooms in basketball, satiating some of the most headstrong egos in the world, and providing an environment where the most talked about team with the most popular athlete could do their jobs. The Bulls' success might not have been what it was without Scottie Pippen. It might not have happened without Phil Jackson, and Horace Grant, and Tony Kukoc, and Steve Kerr, and Bill Cartwright, and all of those guys. Basketball is a team game after all. But it's our fault that they might not get talked about as much as they should. We are the people who talk about these kinds of things and create the dialogue that takes place about them. That doesn't somehow discredit what Jordan did for those teams or nullify what he contributed. Yeah, Scottie was a perfect sidekick. Yes, Phil Jackson was a masterful coach. Those things can still be true, and Michael Jordan can still be the greatest of all time. Scottie accepted his role on the team. He accepted that he was going to be the second guy. Jordan still had to go out there and do his job as the guy. He still had to set the tone of every practice and every game. He had to put the ball in the hole, share responsibilities guarding the other team's best player, take over when games started slipping out of hand, and, at the end of the game, take the last shot. It doesn't work unless Mike does what everyone expects him to, which is to be the best player in the world. As for Phil, yes, it is true that he tempered Michael's worst impulses. He helped sand off the rough edges and align the team. But Mike still had to accept that coaching. He had to adapt his game and do the work. Plus, isn't it a coach's job to coach? Why is it a knock on Jordan that his coach was good at his job? Michael Jordan doesn't deserve all of the credit for their success. But he does deserve the lion's share of credit because he shouldered the lion's share of responsibility of such an incredible team. How incredible of a team were they? Well, the 1996 Chicago Bulls finished the regular season 72-10. That's more wins than anyone had ever won, and a record that most people thought would never be broken. And not only were they such a prolific regular season team, but they capped off that season with a championship to deliver the most successful season that any NBA team has ever had. Which brings us to another common Jordan barb. The fact that the NBA was, at the time, looking to capitalize on its enormous popularity and expand into more media markets. From 1988 to 1995, the league saw 6 new teams enter the league, and with each new team, the talent pool of the league got a little more diluted and a little more diluted. As far as I'm concerned, this is a perfectly valid point to bring up when discussing whether or not 72 wins validates the 19...
This doesn't get brought up. The competition doesn't get brought up, bro. And if you do try to bring it up, you're a hater, you're this, whatever. Bro, let's be real, bro. Today, modern day NBA is better than the 90s. It just is, bro. And it can go down the road, too. It's better than the 80s. Way better than the 70s, way better than the 60s, shits on the 50s. I don't even think there was a 40s. So, you know what I mean? So, like, it gets better every... Like, the NBA's not gone down, bro. Yeah, like, I don't... So when you go, oh, you know, Jordan had 6 rings in that era. Well, I think 4 rings in this era is more impressive, bro. That's my opinion. You can have your own opinion. That's fine. But when I'm giving my reasons why, oh, I think this guy's the GOAT, this guy's the GOAT, whatever, that's my reasoning. That's my just how people think Bill Russell's rings don't count. Because if they, think about it, bro. If they thought Bill Russell's rings counted the same as Jordan's or Kobe's or LeBron's or Kareem, whatever, right? Then Bill Russell's the GOAT, bro. He's like, what does he have, like 11 rings or some shit? You know what I mean? So, it's the competition, bro. You got to look at that shit, bro.
1996 Bulls as the best basketball team of all time. I don't think it disqualifies them in the same way that I don't think that just taking 72 wins at face value automatically puts them at the top. But when people try to say that Michael Jordan played in a weak era or didn't face tough competition, it makes me want to pull my teeth out with pliers. We know who Jordan was losing to, so who is he beating once his reign began? John Starks, Charles Oakley, and Patrick Ewing.
Mid. At the time, sure. Sure, they might have been whatever. Mid, though.
On the New York
These guys never won anything ever.
Knicks, the Bad Boy Pistons, Magic Johnson.
Don't just sneak Magic Johnson in there, bro. Don't just throw Magic Johnson in there, bro. Stop.
Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler, bro. Dude, DeMar DeRozan's better than Clyde Drexler, bro. Are we sitting here praising LeBron that he beat DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs? No, bro. Anyone who's sitting there saying stop, I will put anything on it. He's better than Clyde Drexler at basketball, bro. I will put anything.
Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley.
Come on, bro. Dominique Wilkins. Now we're just talking about dunkers, bro. Like, what have these guys ever done? What is Clyde Drexler and
Pistons,
hold on.
Magic Johnson, Clyde Drexler, Dominique.
What have they done, bro? I want to know what the hell they did. I want to know what they did, bro. Because if you're just like, oh, we're just naming good players, whatever. Okay, here's a good player. I think Paul George is a great player, right? Right? LeBron, when he was on the Heat, beat the Pacers. That was a really great series. But you think I'm going to sit up here and start bragging about how we beat Paul George? Nah, bro. But this is like the equivalent. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm sure these were good players, bro. But dude, stop, bro. Like literally, stop, bro.
Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Alonzo Mourning.
All right, bro.
Larry Johnson.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
Tim Hardaway.
Like, it's like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but this guy's 6 foot, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, bro. And I'm a Heat fan. This guy's 6 foot. Wow, dude. Jordan 6'6" had to go against this guy? Damn, bro. Crazy.
Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, Gary Payton.
Dude, wait. Hold on. He lost to them. He lost to them, bro.
Shawn Kemp, Chris Webber, John Stockton, Karl Malone, and Reggie Miller. Basically every relevant basketball player from the 1990s beside David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon. And no, I don't care to count up how many All-NBA opponents the Bulls saw.
Why not, bro? Oh, because he's making the case for Jordan. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, bro. Of the 6 opponents MJ faced in the finals, only 9 players were Hall of Famers. LeBron in his 8 trips to the finals, 26 Hall of Famers.
Versus someone else. Or how many all-star teammates Jordan had versus other players, or any of that. Because 1, the players on that list all passed the smell test of a competitive era with flying colors. 2, I don't care about that stuff. And 3, because, like I have said and will continue to say, everybody has advantages. Everybody. You become great by capitalizing on the moments when everything lines up for you. You seize the opportunity and press the advantage. So what if the Bulls were expected to win? They did win. And they were expected to win because Michael Jordan tipped the scales in their favor against everybody. And as a final objection, people who are looking to dethrone Jordan will tell you that he was an asshole to his teammates. That he alienated those who he didn't deem worthy or tough enough to play alongside him, and he refused to respect or trust them. And that is a fact. He was an asshole. He punched multiple teammates in the face, belittled his peers for mishandling passes, and spoke to his teammates in a way that would not fly in 2020. It's a fact that feels especially stark when you take into account the impact that more reserved and compassionate leaders like Tim Duncan and Bill Russell had on their teams. It is possible to win in the NBA without being a jerk, but it's also possible to win while being a jerk. And remember, Jordan wasn't lashing out for no reason. He wasn't walking into the gym just looking for an ego boost and to demean someone while he took the day off. He wanted his teammates to work as hard as he did. He had to make them understand that the Bulls could not be playing games because they wanted to win. They had to play as if they needed to win, because psychologically, Jordan did. Take Tim Duncan and compare him to Michael Jordan. You never hear about Tim Duncan really tearing into some dude in front of the whole team at practice. You never hear about Mike not taking the opportunity to chew out a teammate that could have done something better. They are polar opposites when it comes to how they led, but they were both leaders, and both of their styles worked. In the same way that not everybody could play for the Spurs, not everybody could play for the Bulls. If you couldn't handle the team first, no one is above the group approach that the Spurs culture built, you weren't playing with Tim Duncan. And if you couldn't handle getting called out, being pushed past your stress point, and playing without fear, you were not playing with Michael Jordan. They both shared a common vision of basketball perfection. They set a high standard and expected everyone around them to work as hard as they did at achieving that standard. If you didn't, you were out. So yeah, Michael wasn't nice. Not everyone could get along with him. If he had spent his years in the league making a villain out of himself and making enemies out of everyone else, toiling away in the postseason without ever breaking through, that would be one thing. But what he did worked. It produced results. And speaking of results, the guy won 6 effing rings. And he won all of them as the best player. I know that the people who want to discredit Jordan have already found a million ways to get around 6 rings, but I don't buy any of them. It is literally the best claim that any player has to the throne. He won more championships as the best player on the team than anyone but Bill Russell. But Jordan did it with more teams and more variables that could have set the team back. He checks all of the boxes. He had more success than Wilt, had more statistical prestige than Russell, had a higher peak than Bird or Magic, and leveraged that peak for more titles as the guy than Kareem. He was the ultimate closer. He lived for the moments that decide games. As an individual talent, he is an A+, as special as you can get, as well-rounded as anyone ever. As a team athlete, his place in the game is immortalized. Listen, it's impossible to watch Michael Jordan and not romanticize him. No object in the world looks more natural than a basketball in Michael Jordan's hand. It's like the ball was designed for him, or like he was made for the ball, or both. You can't appreciate Michael Jordan without hyperbole and superlatives. He is the avatar of sport. He is competition incarnate. His defining trait remains his insatiable need to win. He wanted to win at everything. When he came into the league, there were questions about his shooting and his defense. So he became a Defensive Player of the Year and a mid-range marksman. He heard he couldn't win for years, so he took it all out on his competition and led his teams to 2 separate three-peats. He ironed out all of his flaws because he would accept no result but victory. So don't even start to tell me that he wouldn't have developed a three-point shot today. And more than anything, sport is an art form, isn't it? It's expression, it's theater, and it's storytelling. Part of sports is the excitement, the show, and Michael Jordan was the most dynamic show in the world during the end of the century. Part of it too is because the Jordan show wasn't terribly complicated. There wasn't a lot of baggage attached to the Michael Jordan experience. The things that he did made people believe, if only for a few moments, in superheroes. When spectators looked at him, hoping to find something to connect with,
I was letting it go. Now you're just straight up calling him a superhero, bro. This is some bullshit now. This is some bullshit. Okay? This is a bunch of horse shit. This is what this is. Alright? This is what this is. Again, though, this video, I gotta keep remembering, this is making the case Michael Jordan. I don't even think this guy believes the shit he's saying, bro. When, at any point, did he start talking about statistics, anything? I mean, yeah, we know Jordan can score, but a lot of people can score, bro. A lot of people can score. Alright? All I'm saying is this. The approach that this guy is taking to this is, okay. I don't have a case for him being like the best all-around player ever. His stats are not touching LeBron's stats all around. Okay? Oh, and he didn't shoot threes, so let me insult the people who say Jordan didn't shoot threes. That makes a lot of sense. So the approach that this guy had to take was talking about the rings. That's what he had to take. That's what he had to do. Because that's pretty much the only case you can make for Jordan as the GOAT. That's pretty much it. Unless you're like, oh, he's the GOAT scorer. I mean, you could say something like that. But like saying like he's just the GOAT. Nah, bro. Somehow in this debate, it's no longer about the player. It's not about what LeBron does on the court and what Jordan does on the court. It's about everything else now. That's why this argument and this case, it's just not a good case. It's not a good argument, bro. Sooner than later, people will start realizing this. And especially if LeBron ever won. Dude, bro, if LeBron ever won another ring, bro. Oh my God, bro. Dude, you would hate me, bro. You would hate me. I think you would hate me. The LeBron haters, not everyone, but the LeBron haters would hate me. Because you would have nothing you could literally say to me ever, bro, that I would even consider Jordan's the GOAT. There's nothing, bro. There's nothing. So yeah, I don't know. This was a fun video. I don't know. I mean, it just I thought he would go with like another approach, but basically all he said was, "Oh, 6-0." I mean, that's really what he said.
They found the indomitability of human will. The old sports cliche fully realized that the game is won by the team who wants it more. And we all like to think of ourselves like that we are wired like Jordan. But let's face it, we're not all like that. That's what made him special. There's only one Michael Jordan. As for the story, how's this? There's a guy who is knocking on the door of the Pantheon. He has been for a while now. He captures the imagination of everyone who has ever seen him play. He might well be the most talented player to ever lace up a pair of shoes, but he just can't seem to break through. He loses in the playoffs against the same team over and over and over. Every year, he gets a little bit closer and a little bit closer until finally he breaks through. His talent is justified with 1, 2, 3 championships, all in a row. It hadn't been done in 30 years. Now there's talk about how this guy might not just be the best talent, he might be the best ever. And as he's climbed the mountain, he has become the most famous athlete in the world. And then he retires, only to come back a year and a half later. In his first full year back from retirement, they win the title. He is...
Listen to the words. Oh, in his first full year back from retirement. Yeah, dude, because when he came back, he got shit on, bro. Got shit on, dude. You got shit on. And people were like, dude, he just came back in the middle of the playoffs. No, he didn't at all. He came back in the regular season, bro. But it's just all these excuses to make Jordan the GOAT, bro. It's just all these excuses.
Is back. And then they do it again. By now, he is practically lapping every other player historically. Every image of Michael Jordan in recent memory is of his team holding the trophy. By 1998, he had won 5 championships in 7 years, 3 in a row, and then back to back. And now it was the end, the last year of everyone's contracts. The team's blowing it up. This is their last ride, the last dance. They're running on fumes, but they climb all the way back up the mountain to the top. They're back in the finals. The target on their backs has never been bigger. The pressure has never been heavier.
And now they're playing against John Stockton, bro, and Jeff Hornacek. What are we talking about right now? This is some bullshit, bro. This is bullshit. This is horseshit. The greatest point guard ever. Let me tell you something, bro. If dude, what the fuck's his name? Stockton. If Stockton was in the NBA today, guess what, bro? He's in a G League, bro. He's in a fucking G League, bro. You want to cry about that and be like, no, dude, nah, G League, bro. He's G League today, bro. He is G League, bro. I don't give a fuck, dude. The competition was not the same. It was not the same. It wasn't, dude. It wasn't. Nobody was, like, comparable to Jordan. LeBron's playing against fucking, dude, Kobe, fucking Kawhi, KD. I mean, fucking D Wade. I mean, the Celtics fucking big three. I mean, the Spurs fucking dynasty. The Warriors. Like, dude, think about who LeBron has played against. Who the fuck did Jordan play against, bro? Who did he play against, dude? He really didn't play against shit. Like, when you really, really think about it, like, yeah, he played against Larry Bird. Yeah, he lost to him. Yeah, he played against the Bad Boy Pistons. Yeah, he lost to them. Yeah, eventually these dudes got fucking old, bro. And then it's just Jordan there. Where the fuck is everyone else at? Again, I'm saying facts out loud, right? I'm saying facts. What do you see these dudes in the chat saying? Oh, their comeback is saying 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗍. That's their comeback. Dude, if your number one comeback to what I'm saying is just saying 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗍, first of all, you're excusing Jordan losing different years. You're excusing him for that, right? So you can't... LeBron, his loss against the Mavs in 6 games, you can't excuse that, though. You have to keep saying 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗍. Okay, you can't talk about his 4 championship wins. Can't talk about that. We got to just say 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝗃𝗍. Dude, you guys, the thing is, I feel like a lot of you agree with me, but you're scared. And it's okay. A lot of you agree with what I'm saying. Maybe you don't even know how to articulate it. But you're scared. You're like, dude, I don't want to get shit on. Oh, dude, don't be afraid to say what you mean, bro. Dude, if I want to just blindly follow people, I would be like, yeah, dude, Jordan's the GOAT, bro. And not look into it. I've looked into this shit, dude. 𝗟𝗵 Hornacek, bro? Is this a fucking joke? A lot of people are scared, bro. They're scared to say how they really feel, bro. Because they're going to get shit on by people. Look at this.
In Game 6, on the road, looking to wrap up an unprecedented second three-peat in a game with more people watching than in any other game. It goes down to the wire. The Utah Jazz won't go away. Unfortunately for them, they're playing against Michael Jordan, who saved his best for last. Here is Michael Jordan's final shot as a Chicago Bull.
Jordan, open.
A foul? Like, are we supposed to be impressed by this? At this point, I'm annoyed. Like, at this point, I'm just annoyed. He clearly pushed off. He clearly shoved him. In today's NBA, it's an offensive foul. We're going the other way.
6. Jordan, open.
Listen, man. That was as good of a case for the GOAT as saying Curry's the GOAT, bro, in my opinion. All right, that was bait. That was bait. That was bait. That was bait. That was bait.